Hey everybody, got another video here for you. So, welcome to another edition of the Paint Shop, where we try to perform miracles and usually mess up in the process. Today's challenge is to, hold on. Okay, now I have all my audio-visual aids set up here. Yeah, so today's challenge is doing one of the hardest things in all of guitar building, and that is using stains or dyes in order to try to color match either dissimilar woods, like the case of this body and neck here, or dissimilar stains, like the case of the side of this guitar and this piece of wood and the top of this guitar and this stuff here. So this here is the original wood with the original factory stain on it. This is white cedar and it has some kind of a red cedar stain on it, shall we say. This is what the stuff looks like when it's been sanded back and been cut. So that's like a cut edge. That's a sanded back face, etc. That's a live edge. It's been sanded back. And the challenge is to clear coat alone will pretty much get this looking like that. But it won't get this to look like that. So that's the challenge, is to kind of do the same thing I did with the body and get the sides on these pieces so that they'll better match the front and the back. And the approach that I'm going to take is I'm going to hit it with the really dark brown that I put like a whole pack in, and it's almost like melted chocolate. It's so dark. And I'm going to use that in order to pop the grain. Because see, you can think of wood as almost being similar to a sponge, but not nearly as absorbent. And like a sponge, it'll only absorb so much liquid. So the very first stain that you hit it with, if you're going to use it to pop grain and then sand back, you probably want to go really strong, because that first stain is going to take better than any other coat you ever put on afterwards. So if you really want to pop the grain, I'm going to hit it with the dark brown and yeah, and then sand back. And then I've got like the red brown that I might hit it with afterwards. But wait and see. Okay, as an experiment on the bottom of this extension block, which is going to get bolted up to the bar here, I tried the belt sander. I hit it 3 times for 1 second, just lightly, and it's that's what I got, and it's way too aggressive. I mean, I didn't cut it too much, but I'll have to finish this out by hand. I think I'll step down to 60 grit by hand and see what that does. Might make quicker work of all this, especially on the end grain. Oh my god, I had to grind away on these for a while. As you see, where it's darker, you have to sand more, so it's almost like relicking a guitar. And already, just from this first piece that I've finished, this side's looking a little on the cream yellow side, yellow direction. And this is looking a bit more reddish tint. So, I'm probably going to be hitting up this side with the red brown after I finish sanding everything back. A light coat, maybe a light coat, and wipe it off right quick or something, and then sand that back and see where I'm at. Okay, everything's been sanded back. I think you saw me do the first side of this thing, but yeah, I actually resorted to the belt sander again in order to finish everything. It just made quicker work of it, and then I had to come back with 60 grit in order to do like the edges, so they weren't still like chocolate brown. But yeah, everything's sanded back, and it's got some grain pop now, so this should give it a little character, which is just what's desired. A little bit of character to the wood. So, yeah, that's kind of subtle there. Wish the camera would focus. Let's try a 2x. 2x. Yes. It's just as fuzzy. But anyway, okay, yeah, so this is all sanded back, but this is yellowish and this is reddish, so it's time to try some red brown, just a light coat, and then sand it back and see if I can get that yellow to be more like this reddish stuff. I don't know, man. Still looks kind of like yellow to me. I got some late red. Maybe I'll try that. I can always sand back and start over from scratch. Yeah, you can hear the tone of my voice throughout all of this. This is all like, well, we'll see what happens, and yeah, it probably will suck, but yeah. So, yeah, you do what you can. It is what it is, right? No, if you have patience and you think about it, and you work this direction and that direction with the hue, eventually you can get close. Okay, this is the light red. Let's see if this is a move in the right direction or in the wrong direction. And wait and let that dry, and sand it back and see what I got. Before you sand stuff back, it's kind of extreme, isn't it? First the extreme brown, which became almost nothing, and now the extreme kind of salmon pink almost, which might give it a bit of a red hue. Oh my god, that's pink. Beautiful salmon, isn't it? Okay, let's see what we can do with some bit of sanding. Okay, this is the 60 grit. See what happens here. I don't know, man. Probably moving in the wrong direction. Let me think about it a bit. That's just where it's wet. That actually looks pretty good. Yeah, that's condensation off the beer, actually. So yeah, that's just a bit of water on there. That's not bad, actually, looking. Maybe just get rid of the red and forget about the red and just go with clear coat. Forget about the yellow or the reddish brown. Forget about all of it and just go with clear coat. Except that'll be kind of pink. Okay, so I put this thing on the belt sander and took out all the pink. Well, almost all. You can, the camera won't pick it up, but yeah. Just a hint of it there if you look hard. If you look real hard, it'll probably disappear in clear coating. So, yeah, at this point, I don't really can't think of anything else that, I mean, 50% cut on the red brown, maybe, but that was looking awfully yellow. So at this point, I'm thinking just squirt it all with lacquer, and you saw that bit that got wet. It'll turn kind of the right color. So I'm thinking squirt it all with lacquer, and if it's not quite right, it's not quite right. So yeah, life in the paint shop, man. Sometimes you nail it, and sometimes you don't. And I'm not feeling lucky. I think I'll try a first coat of lacquer and see what I get. Hopefully it'll even shit out a bit. Pardon my French. But yeah, once again, you can hear the disappointment in my voice. It's a dark art at best, and some days you're the bug and some days you're the windshield. Okay, Guitar 16, little update here. It's Saturday afternoon, a little after 1 in the afternoon. This is currently in the paint shop. It just got like its third coat of lacquer on, and it's drying. It's got I should probably let it dry for the better part of an hour before I even think about it. I'm thinking one more coat, which would make 4 total, and I might consider sanding at that point, or I might go for a 5th coat. There's some slight signs of a rut or 2, but nothing major enough to make me stop. I've only got 2-3 coats on it now, so nothing super significant in build. You can see a bit of gloss here already, but yeah, the first one was light. Second and the third, I tried to use good light and get a good sheen going across it, and so the second and third coats were a little on the heavier side. And conditions, we've got, hold on a sec. It's the middle of February. Yeah, it's above freezing. We have light rain. We're about 50 miles due south of, as the crows flies, of Ground Zero, the White House, actually. About 1,500 yards off the northern banks of the Potomac. And yeah, we've got some overcast skies and a little light rain and low temperatures, but above freezing. And so most of the squirting's being done indoors, and the shop's being ventilated frequently because of the smell. Well, I think that's going to do it for this video. So until the next one, everybody have a good one.